a World Tour. That's what they were calling it.
Yeah, but you can't go Mac May. So listen, straight away, it seems like I'm being disrespectful to the B side because Conor's the B side. So how can it be Mac May? It's May Gregor.
Yeah, hold on. May Mac. You know, it comes. Both the hashtags come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe
but it's the May Gregor press conference because it's Mayweather and McGregor.
so you combine both names like they do with Brangelina.
Only if you're a fucking asshole do you do that.
Well, that's what I thought you were doing.
No, that's what they've been calling it. They've been calling it the May Gregor. I don't do that. I call it the Mayweather McGregor traveling circus. Would be a more a better description. But
you have to admit that you love it. There's no denying. We haven't even talked about it. You have to love this whole psychotic thing that's happening.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. I went to the gym Thursday evening when the New York press conference was happening, and I did an hour of 25 minutes of cardio in the gym watching that circus on the phone, and it was the quickest hour 25 minutes of my life. If only one of them could happen every week, I could happily go and do an hour and a half of cardio every day or every week. The time flew by. I did 25 minutes on the treadmill, 25 minutes on the elliptical, 25 minutes on the bike. And then, so I don't know, does that make an hour and a half?
Hour and 15, yeah.
Whatever. But, yeah, you know, I mean, first and foremost, it's kind of unbelievable, to be honest. I mean, hats off to both guys because it seems like the whole world is watching this. And why not? You know, I mean, you got Conor, biggest guy from MMA, and then Floyd Mayweather obviously needs no introduction. And the way they're promoting it is you know, it's not to everybody's taste, and it's leaving a bad taste in some people's mouths. But at the end of the day, even if people are criticizing it, I think they're still going to watch it. So it's going to do fantastic numbers.
What are people criticizing, though? I don't see any real downside of doing it this way. I mean, they did 4 cities: Toronto, New York, Los Angeles, and was it London? Yeah, right.
No. A lot of purist boxing guys. You know, like Kevin Iole from Yahoo Sports. He's a hardcore boxing journalist that's been around for a long, long time and covered a lot of the boxing greats. And he wrote a very, very nasty article, if you will, basically just saying that this is damaging the sport of boxing, damaging the credibility of the sport, and that it's just a circus. And, you know, in some ways he's kind of got a point, but in other ways, you know, it's entertainment, and I was entertained. I'll be honest. I was entertained, maybe for the wrong reasons. You know, it wasn't. You know, I certainly didn't learn anything or get any smarter or more intelligent from it. But it was fun. It was good. You know.
I mean, look. Here's the thing. The fight itself, I understand. I feel like a boxing purist being like, "All right, this is stupid. It's just a circus." But the actual promotion going into it, I mean, people are so pumped about it. I was showing it to friends today who aren't even into MMA or boxing or combat sports. And literally with their mouth agape, when McGregor, you know, there was some moments where, you know, McGregor in that press conference, look, there was moments where he looked bad, but there was moments where he looked great. When he said,
dude, listen, the Toronto press conference, listen, Conor and myself, we started off, we had a good relationship, and then, you know, whatever, we kind of had, you know, I wouldn't say we had a falling out, but we had a couple of little differences along the way, whatever. I wish him the best. And even myself, at that Toronto press conference, I was watching the highlights on Facebook, and I got to say, I was laughing. I was laughing away, and I called my wife up. I said, babe, you got to see this. You got to see what he just said here when he went up to the Showtime guy, and he's calling him a weasel and saying, fuck you and all this. I got to say, it was hilarious. It was funny. It put that guy in his place, and he did. He looked like a rock star up there, you know. So he did fantastic. But then at the New York one, I don't know. I think it all went to his head a little bit, and he was kind of drunk on his own ego there a little bit because I don't know. I thought that was too much, man. I thought Floyd walked away with a very, very easy victory in New York. What did you think?
I mean, kind of. Look, here's the deal, right? Floyd's thing kind of sucks, right? Excuse me.
Yeah,
dude. That whole like.
Well, I gotta say, dude, say something else. Every press conference, he just did the exact same thing. Now, we had some great lines. I mean, that one, you know, going up to Dana and saying, me and you are getting rich. I mean, listen, Conor's getting rich as well. But I see his point. He's saying that Dana's taking a percentage of Conor's purse and this and that. But still, Conor's going to make a shit ton of money. He's going to make an absolute fortune.
Well, there's something about,
like, it was visibly pissing off Conor a little bit. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, there's something about like, I'm just a different kind of guy. Maybe there's a thing like in comedy, right? Like it's almost like built into us where, you don't want the hero story isn't like funny or exciting. Like when you win the race or you fucking got the big dick or you finish first. That's not necessarily what's like intriguing to me as a comedian. It's when you get your ass kicked or you lose the race or you lose the girl or you get embarrassed. That's kind of the angle that always kind of like intrigues me. So built into kind of this like hip hop like culture, like which Floyd really embraces, is just this whole like, pulling out bags of money and talking about how much money he's got and, just talking about like that. That angle just really bothers me so much. It's so obnoxious.
Hold on. But that's what Conor does. That's Conor's whole shtick.
I know.
And Floyd was doing that for years, and now Conor's doing the exact same thing. Conor's totally ripped off Floyd's style. Everything about him. Floyd was doing that 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. Conor can't do that to Floyd, so what's happening is...
Oh, no, exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
But it kind of looks like Conor's coming off as the underdog automatically, and this is the bigger point here. People in MMA have been split on Conor. People love him or hate him. They want to watch him, but they love him or hate him. This past week, what I've noticed is every MMA fan is rooting for Conor. Whether you think he's obnoxious or not.
Yeah, no, of course, because Conor, you love him or hate him, he does evoke emotion and makes you passionate. And for the most part, he's got, he's got the whole MMA community on his side. He's also got a lot of people from the boxing world and pop culture in general that just don't like Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd, actually, when you listen to him speak, he comes across kind of eloquent and he talks very calmly and this and that. But also at the same time, he can't help himself but be an absolute fucking idiot at times. Not to mention the fact that I think he's had domestic abuse charges and things like that. So that doesn't help him, So
it's like kidnap dudes like by gunpoint. Like he's a real deal thug. When you have that much money and you have that like thug mentality, it's like beating up chicks. Like he's like he's not really a good dude. It was kind of funny, like, and he got absolutely no shit for this, but he called Conor a faggot during the press conference. He just couldn't help himself, and it's so funny because, and I'm Hispanic, so I feel like I can say this, but black and Hispanic people, we get a pass. If Conor called Floyd a faggot, Conor called him boy, and people were losing their minds going, oh my God, is Conor privileged? Is Conor McGregor, showing his white privilege by calling Mayweather boy? Mayweather can beat up chicks. He could fucking call him a faggot. He can pull out guns. He can throw bags of money in the air, have his, crew of goons surround Conor, and he literally gets no heat for it at all.
Wow. Listen to you, Lewis. Listen to you.
White
you
power.
Sound like an oppressed black man. or you sound like Conor McGregor's #1 nut hugger.
Yeah,
Who
right.
are you? Who am I talking to right now?
But it's really true. I almost feel bad for white people. You guys, you have to be so careful.
There was a story from an Irish newspaper about Conor McGregor about how he's not doing giving a fair representation of Ireland, and Ireland were pissed off at him. Or this newspaper, or this one journalist anyway. I wouldn't say Ireland. Jesus Christ, that's a bit of a stretch. But one journalist wrote a whole story about how Conor was painting Irish people as this oppressed nation and this and that, and how they had it so bad. And I can't remember the exact points, but he went off on a tangent about it. But I disagree with what you're saying. Listen, Floyd called Conor the F-bomb. And you shouldn't do that in this day and age. It's not a cool thing, and I'm sure he got heat for it. Listen, at the end of the day, they're gonna fight. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna punch each other in the face. They're gonna try and knock each other out. More than likely, Floyd's gonna win the fight. Floyd's gonna get a knockout and stoppage. But so what if you drop a couple of words here and there? And to be honest, you, Lewis, being so freely spoken and being a comedian and making jokes about things that are, very, very taboo and close to the edge, I'm actually surprised to hear you making such a big song and dance about Floyd saying that word.
I didn't realize that you say taboo like a faggot.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Taboo.
Now, you can say it, but you're not going to. Taboo. What's wrong with that? It's taboo.
It's a taboo.
It's taboo. You're saying the exact same thing.
No, I'm not making a big deal about it. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of society.
You're saying basically that it's double standards, that Floyd can get away with saying it because he's black and he's gangster and all this type of stuff. But if Conor said it, there'd be uproar. You're right, if Conor said it, there would be uproar. But I feel like there probably has been some kind of uproar. I know there was discussions in my house. I know there was discussions with people. Everyone I spoke to was like, whoa, you hear Floyd drop the F-bomb? Oh, that wasn't cool. You can't do that in this day and age. Now, has he been splashed across, front page of newspapers for saying it? No, but there was a lot of shit said. Yeah, there was stuff about Conor possibly being racist for saying boy, which is an absolute stretch, which is absolutely ridiculous. Just because he said that doesn't mean he's fucking racist. In fact, I think the people that wrote those things are just looking for an angle to write something about, because
of course
it didn't strike me as racist one little bit. It was insulting, it was diminishing, it was disparaging. It wasn't fucking racist, and those people need to get a grip. But they're just looking for something to write about. And the fact that you're making a big song and dance about Floyd possibly getting away with it and there being a double standard, I am a little surprised at you, Lewis.
No, I think you're missing the point of what I'm making now. I'm not making a song and dance. I don't give a shit. You can say faggot all day. I have no problem. You could literally say any word you want to say. I think every word should be fair game, especially.
I dropped the F-bomb. I shouldn't say that, but I did. I dropped it after I knocked out Luke Rockhold.
I know. But you want to know the difference?
I got a ton of shit for it.
And you know what you did? The difference is immediately you recognized it in the moment. I remember it, right? And
no, I did. I said, well, listen, let's be honest. Listen, where I grew up, we used to call people a faggot, meaning a wimp. You know what I mean? It didn't even have a gay or homosexual attachment to it.
It's really a blue collar. It's a blue collar like term. Like, it was not even just where you grew up. It was the time. It was like a blue collar thing. If you and your boys got into an argument, you call them a fag. It's just a different thing, and we all recognize that it's not okay now, especially on television or in public.
Well, exactly, because it's offensive to certain people. So therefore, you accept that, you acknowledge that, and you try not to have it in your vocabulary. But at that moment, in the heat of the moment, it came out, but I immediately went, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that." My apologies.
Exactly. You apologized immediately, and that was the difference. And you still got shit. You still got way more shit. I saw way more about you saying that.
I got a ton of shit. I got grilled big time. I went to London shortly after winning the title. I went to England, did a victory tour. Did a ton of press and this and that. And I was doing a bunch of interviews in a hotel in London, and I had to wonder about this guy's sexuality, because he was very offended and he grilled. I'm thinking, are you? Because he was super offended about me using that word at the press conference, and I said, yeah, well, no, sorry, when I was a kid. But then we used to use that word all the time and this and that. But he wasn't buying it. He was looking at me very suspiciously. And then when he wrote the article, it was very, very very, very insulting, and painted me in a bad light, and painted me as a bigot, and painted me as a homophobe, and all these types of things, which I'm definitely not, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know, I don't know Floyd personally. I've never met him. I've never had the pleasure or the displeasure. So I can't say whether he's a homophobe or not. But what I will say is that generally when people say that, I don't think he was calling Conor a homosexual.
No, he used it in the exact...
He was just saying, shut the fuck up, you pussy.
Yeah. The exact same context that you'd use it in, the exact same context that I'll use it in once these microphones go off and I'm speaking to one of the producers here at Gas Digital.
Sure.
But,
this, we shouldn't be using that word quite as much, because I am sensitive to people's feelings, and I do have gay friends. A very, very good friend of mine, I do. I have a lot of gay friends and transgender people, actually, I know these days as well. That was a recent occurrence, and you know who you are if you're listening to this podcast. A good friend of mine is
Caitlyn Jenner.
Now wearing a dress and makeup and whatnot. But God bless him, whatever makes you happy.
God bless her, Michael, her.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, God bless, generally, full stop, period. Whatever makes you happy. God bless to one and all. So I don't think Floyd was saying it like that. I think he was just saying it like when I was a kid, I'd say, if someone was being a wimp or whatever, you drop it. But anyway, we're going around in circles. It's offensive. I don't know if he got away with it. To be honest, there was that much shit. There was that much press. There was that much story and hoopla.